Myri, late one. You know what it's about? The big news. Urban street media. BRICC Baby, LUCE Cannon, fighting. Not fighting physically, but you could call it social media. Rumors going around, people spreading rumors. I don't know if it's fact or fiction. BRICC Baby's accusing LUCE Cannon of snitching. He's accusing LUCE Cannon doing snitching. I know they never liked each other before. I don't know how they found themselves on the same show. No jumper. But they don't like each other. They never did. One of the main reasons what sparked interest in No Jumper even more is when they're both were on the show and they don't like each other. And I think BRICC Baby had something showing. I think BRICC Baby had a weapon on him. That's what many people say. He had a weapon on him on that show, what LUCE Cannon was on, when they both got locked up, right? People was talking about different things what was going on, and one part of the news is that they were sharing a cell at one point. Don't know if that's true, but that's what was going around, that they were both in the same cell. What happened in that cell? And why aren't they together now? Right? What happened in that cell? Why they're not together right now? But we've been hearing for a while that these guys don't like each other. So, what evidence does BRICC Baby have on LUCE Cannon, saying that LUCE Cannon is a snitch? Where does he get this from? Now you got more than one person going at LUCE Cannon. You got Whack already, and you got Brick. You got Brick and BRICC Baby and Whack don't like each other. They both don't like each other, but they both have something in common. They're both good with Adam. They're both good with Adam 22. Right now, BRICC is talking. Something's going on. If you hear BRICC talking, BRICC wasn't talking before, but something is going on while he's talking. Why is he talking now? I heard today there's a court. Uh, I guess court was in session, and Big U, BRICC, and LUCE Cannon, they had to go. Right? Something was going on. Now you hear about BRICC telling somebody he could get the media easily because he worked for No Jumper, that LUCE Cannon is a snitch, and that's what's going out there. Before that, right? About yesterday or a good amount of hours ago, LUCE Cannon's people put out a document saying cease and desist to wax people and whoever. Now you hear this, BRICC is talking. So this is catching people off guard because BRICC is incarcerated. He's not outside. He's locked up. He has nothing to lose. So BRICC will say anything to get free because people called him maybe even a snitch before. He had a case already, I'm hearing, right? So he was already hot on No Jumper. You got to think of it. This man was already hot on No Jumper. He was talking about Little Dirk's situation, right? He just put himself into that situation. Coincidence here, Little Dirk is on, the jail call with LUCE Cannon. He's on a call with LUCE Cannon live on academics stream not too long ago, and all this is going on. So BRICC has a connection, and that is is Adam 22. It's been quiet for a while, but now is academics, for example, not going to cover this? Because Wack was telling him not to cover it. Wack was telling Ack not to cover it. But now you got BRICC talking, right? You hear about Big U going to his whatever his court date. I think they might have rescheduled it, right? Things are starting to move in motion. People are gonna be, they're gonna be in court. All of them, they will be in court more times. This might have just been like a hearing or something like that. But LUCE Cannon, BRICC, and what's up? Bless up. LUCE Cannon, BRICC Baby, and Big U, the gang leader of the Rolling 60s, they went to court today. So right now, the word is LUCE Cannon been called a snitch by BRICC Baby. BRICC Baby never liked the LUCE Cannon. LUCE Cannon never liked BRICC Baby. But they both were on the same platform. And that is No Jumper. No Jumper is like the match. That's where people meet, right? Adam 22 is like the referee or the promoter, right? And then you got Whack 100 is like, he'll probably be the referee. Whack 100 is the referee. Adam 22 is the promoter, right? Love XXX. Bless up. If you subscribe, much respect. But yeah, a lot of things are going on, man. These guys are fighting, right? Social media, that's where they're fighting, doing all types of things. This one's we're on No Jumper at the same time. One time, yeah. If they're on, that's a lot. One too many. At the same time, they knew what was gonna happen. Or Wack and Adam knew what was gonna happen. They probably talked on social media, back on back and forth on the gram and shit like that before they came on the show to know that they don't like each other, right? They probably knew they didn't like each other, but that made great views, what people used to call ratings. And who had a gun on him? I heard it was BRICC, right? BRICC. They don't really show it, but he had a gun on him or something like that. And LUCE was there. And when they show, like when you see some clips, close ups, you just look at the facial, the face, the faces, both like looking at each other, like not trusting nobody's move, right? So this is crazy right now. What's going on? It's like this is like a reality. This is real reality television, real reality. And sorry to say, it's entertainment for some people. It's comedy for some people because they can't believe people are actually talking on an open case, right? Said BRICC was telling two first. So what you said? LUCE said BRICC was telling two first. Maybe, but I wouldn't be surprised if BRICC was known. I swear he was known for telling already, right? Some people don't have no shame in their game, right? So LUCE said that, but right now these guys are fighting back and forth right now, back and forth. And first it was Whack, or first was Big U. You should say from the beginning, because he brought the big spotlight to this. Then it's Whack, right? I shouldn't say that. I should bring it back even further. It's Adam, and then Big U, then Whack, right? And now it's going to BRICC Baby. So BRICC Baby now is calling out LUCE, right? So you got who called out LUCE Cannon so far? You got Big U. You know he don't like LUCE Cannon. You used to be cool with him. You got Whack, right? You got BRICC. Adam's the only one who didn't say nothing bad about LUCE. Think of it. Adam 22 is the only one who hasn't said anything bad about LUCE Cannon. But all the rest, it's released like Young Thug, if this is all bogus, white collar isn't bad. So all this stuff. So you hope Big U gets released? Well, that would be something because they're charging him with the most charges compared to even LUCE Cannon and BRICC Baby and all the other people, like, they want him. As much as those other guys are colorful and stuff, they want him, the big fish. They're gonna go back years. At 20,000 wiretaps. I'm like, how you have 20,000 wiretaps? The FBI. That's years and years and years, right? So they're gonna associate him with whatever he ever been associated with, and that is the gang, the Rolling 60s. What they're trying to do is hit the Rolling 60s with a RICO, right? For example, hitting like they hit other gangs with it, but hitting a black historical gang with the RICO, that'll probably be the first time they ever hit a black gang, traditional gang with a RICO. So when they hit them with it and they want it to stick, this will be an example for others. This will be an example for others. Really, just look at it. Even though, and it's through the hip hop or whatever, the urban street space, this is going to be an example for others. They want to hit people with this, right? And the Rolling 60s, and this guy, Big U, represents that. And whoever represents that, they're going to make an example of that, right? So right now, what's going on is crazy now. BRICC is fighting with LUCE. LUCE is fighting with BRICC. WAC is fighting with LUCE. I mean, all these names, these characters. Then you have this guy named 600. I don't know. He comes by like a cop, like a fed. He talks too much, and he claims he knows a lot of stuff. Like, this guy's just a character. Where did he come from? Where does 600 guy come from? You got to look on it. Where do some of these guys come from? Right? They just come out of nowhere. These characters. Where do they come from? So you have to look. They could be like feds, right? Undies. People can question it. Who's the 600 guy? Right? Whack knows a lot. Can't not lie, like a private investigator. I call him a PI, private investigator. Whack 100, right? And then you got who else? Who else you got now? Academics. You got Adam 22. You got so much other investigators in the content, but no one is a lawyer, right? People got the content, but no one is a lawyer. I don't know if anybody's legally trained to know all the laws, but all I know that it's a federal case and it's the FBI that's involved in this whole thing. It's the FBI that's involved in this whole thing. Remember, it's not police. It's FBI. So these guys do years and years of investigation. You hear about the 20,000 wiretaps, right? Okay, so if BRICC Baby or anybody was in those, it's not good, right? If LUCE is in any of those, it's not good. Hopefully, LUCE, you're not in any of those wiretaps, right? Or any type of business with Big U. The Big U is the big fish. He's the main one they want. He's the main one that catches all the rest. So they're using Big U to take down an organization what represents a big part of the culture in the West Coast, right? So once they do that, they're going to move on to the other one and the other one and the other one, right? Until they even prove more of a point. That's what's going on. So BRICC Baby and LUCE Cannon, these guys are the celebrities. These are the examples what No Jumper kind of, brought to the spotlight, like it or not. If it wasn't for No Jumper, I'll be honest, I wouldn't know who LUCE Cannon is. If it wasn't for No Jumper, I would not know. Honestly. If it wasn't for No Jumper, I would not know who BRICC Baby is. I know who Big U is out of all of them. But those guys, if it wasn't for No Jumper and the podcast game, this I'll show you how big content is. I would not know who they are. But Big U, I seen him in documentaries from a long time ago. Big U. Big U is not a rapper. BRICC Baby's a rapper. LUCE Cannon is a rapper, right? So Big U was known just for seeing him with like, you know, famous people. He's saying, who is this guy? Like, who is he? Until later on, you do your research and you find out who he is or who he was. But like these other guys, if it wasn't for no jumper, Adam 22, wouldn't know who they are. Facts. Would not know who they are. So right now, these guys are fighting. People are calling each other snitches, right? BRICC Baby's calling LUCE Cannon a snitch. I guess Sunday. Wait, no, what I'm saying Sunday. Saturday was now it's Sunday, but Saturday was their I guess their hearing or something like that to see when their case will be called, you know, called up or something. Something was going on. The white collar stuff is bogus. So what's on the, you know, the list of the white collar stuff? Because they're charging him with some serious stuff, Big U. They're charging him with some serious stuff. And down, you know, the laws are different in every state. So what do you know what he won't get a lot of time for? Like either way, it doesn't have to be, well, they're trying to say at 600 years. Even if it's 50, 30 years is too long. Especially when you're older already, even 30 years is too long. Right? So 10 years could be long for some people. No time is good in prison. No time. Not even a couple months. You get what I mean? Like, a couple days is crazy. So being in there for like a couple years, that's crazy. But Big U has a history what people know about, right? And it's online. People would not know who Big U is unless it was local. About mortgage stuff related to the loans. Oh, so it's saying like a lot of that. Yeah, yeah, he was doing well, that's called organized crime. So they also want to get Big U for the same thing the other boy's been doing for so long, the mafia, right, and other people. So he once he put himself into that type of organized crime, they let him do it for a while until they just, you know, wanted to stop that. So they dig up the other stuff too. That's what came with it. They're digging up more than just white collar crime. They're trying to charge him with probably even some cases, some bodies they're trying to catch him with. They're trying to catch him with extortion. That's what they're trying to catch him with. If not, maybe you won't be surprised, trafficking. So much stuff they'll probably bring up later. They done it with Puff Daddy. It started by just the freak offs until it was drugs and other things, right? So watch, like they're gonna keep building. You're gonna keep hearing new things, different things. But right now, BRICC Baby and LUCE Cannon fighting and talking through people or social media. Why this is different, man? This is the future. People fighting online, and it's an open case. Bless up. Much respect to for subscribing. Channel R. Much respect. But yeah, people are using social media fighting their court case. Will this affect the cases? I think so. This is going to start to affect a lot of different cases, influence cases to be flipped, to be thrown out, because now people could say that social media interfered with the investigation, things were leaked, right? So now they have to redo certain things, saying it, maybe saying it's not fair, and all types of things like that. They're gonna be changing a lot of stuff because right now, if people are doing jail calls and talking, now that's evidence. It's an open case. It's evidence. It's not finished yet. So maybe this just prolongs, you know, the whole thing because they want to listen to more things. So people got to realize these things. You have social media doesn't mean that you spit everything on it. Not every day, because the more you do, the more you're giving them more, you know, rope to hang. Trust me, because someone will make a mistake, right? It's not like you fully script it, which people should script it, right? Should script it, certain things, because if it's supposed to be real and raw, Whatever you say may be held against you in a court of law. Right now, BRICC Baby's calling man a snitch. This guy's saying something back and forth, LUCE Cannon, right? It's not stopping. It's like a continuing saga. Whack 100's putting out stuff too. Whack 100 doesn't like BRICC Baby. LUCE Cannon does not like BRICC Baby. Only one who's neutral is Adam 22. Academics, will he talk about this? He promised he wouldn't talk about this, but this is too hot. This is too hot for him not to talk about. Think of it. He's not gonna talk about this whole thing going on with BRICC Baby calling LUCE Cannon a snitch. I can't believe that, man. I can't believe that. He's gonna be saying something, man. And Adam 22 is not gonna say something from No Jumper. He's not gonna talk about BRICC Baby, the host. You could call him the co-host because he's mostly on it before he got locked up, right? He's not gonna be talked about. They're gonna do this media blockage, right? So far, BRICC Baby's calling LUCE Cannon a snitch. That's the news. Calling LUCE Cannon a snitch. But they recently, LUCE Cannon's people put out something. So who told BRICC Baby, or did BRICC Baby just want to do it to say this right now? Because now what LUCE Cannon's people put out will not really affect BRICC Baby. BRICC Baby doesn't care because he's locked up. BRICC Baby doesn't care because he's locked up. So that what they put out kind of never really worked in, only against maybe Whack and certain people, but not BRICC. And if BRICC knows that, that's why he's talking. Or if anybody, I don't know who he's working, if he's working for anybody to, kind of bring that up. Because LUCE's people just put out documents saying, yo, he never cooperate with no government people and he's not a snitch. But BRICC Baby's coming with that right now. Is that going to change the atmosphere in the jail, the prison? I don't know. Will they meet up again? Will they see each other? Will they have a confrontation? I don't know. But they seen each other at court. They all seen each other at court. So this is serious. Nobody is going nowhere right now. I don't think anybody's going to get bail. No bail is coming. Not for this case. No bail is coming. No one's going to be coming out. And that's real. That's the facts. Everybody's going to be staying in. So BRICC Baby and LUCE and all these guys behind bars, the best thing is no talking. No more talking. That's the best thing. BRICC Baby wasn't talking for a good while. We didn't know what he was up to. This is the first time you're hearing about BRICC Baby talking. But people, like, subscribe to the platform, and all that good stuff. It's your host, Sean Myrie of the Down to Earth podcast, the Down to Earth Network, right? More news coming to you. This is BRICC Baby versus LUCE Cannon. I just hope all you brothers really think clear, because you know what? They're after you. The system's been after you. They've been watching you, and social media made it more easier for them to get you. So be careful, be wise, and yeah, I'm out. D2E.